Namaskaram, I am Dr. T.P. Shashikumar from Hyderabad, DrTPS, who is the Director for the Foundation for Early Child Care Education in India. I am here in your place, Rupnarayanpur, for the sake of the 5th annual day celebration of the Blooming Era Plain School and Reliable International School, being run by the great visionary and leadership of Masuda and Anwar Hussain, which is on a great day for India, 2024 January 26th, the Republic Day. I am sure the parents, teachers, students and all the gathering together can have a good interaction with and then understand what we can contribute towards the education in your area. Thank you, God bless you, inshallah, see you.
चावल लो, अक्षत लो, नहीं ये आप अक्षत लो, थोड़ा चावल उठाओ, सर के ऊपर डालो और आप फूल लो बेटा, फ्लावर्स लो। मैम प्लीज
of a school and feels extremely glad to be standing in front of you all and welcoming everyone. We all have gathered here for the annual day celebration of. Ladies and gentlemen, I have please give a big round of applause for Dr. T.P. Shashikumar. Please, I want to give a big applause to Dr. T.P. Shashikumar.
Of Security, Government of India. He is former ISRO scientist, and he was also the Director Academics of UGC. Now, I would like to request our students to felicitate our chief guest, and our principal ma'am Deepa Kumari. She would be helping the students with the felicitation part. My students would be felicitating the chief guest and our guest of honor with bouquet and uttariya. कौन से बच्चे गा रहे हैं? बच्चे का नाम चाहिए. Yes. Now, बच्चे का नाम क्या? Sheikh Ayan and Shanvi and Bulbul would be felicitating Dr. TPS with bouquet and uttariya. Can we have a good round of applause? A better one, a louder one. Thank you so much, lovely audience. Now it's time to felicitate our very own Rumeli Di. And the students would be felicitating Rumeli Di, Mrs. Rumeli Das, with bouquet and Uttarya. And now I think we can go ahead with the program. Are you all ready? Audience, parents, are you all ready? Louder! Can we start? A big round of applause for ourselves. Great, thanks so much. Thank you so much. Yes, and here we go with the program.
Rama arrives the Ayodhya Nagari and our chief guest arrives at Rupnarayanpur. The wait is over and it's time to welcome our chief guest Dr. T.P. Shashi Kumar, who is the Director Research and Development of Global Foundation for Early Childhood Education and Research. He is the former Deputy Director of Directorate of Secretary, Government of India. He is a former ISRO scientist and a former Director of UGC. Let's welcome on stage the man of immense knowledge, Dr. T.P. Shashi Kumar, and listen to some words of mindfulness in parenting. Welcome, sir. The stage is all yours.
Namaskaram. Namaskaram. Namaste. 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 Wonderful. Thank you. I am here because of Masuda, whom I met 2 years back. I think a great clap for two honors of the great school, right? I think you need a great round of applause for this.
A great applause for Masuda ma'am and Anwar Hussain sir.
I was just going through the program schedule and I found that I am supposed to speak on parenting. Yeah, good parenting by DrTPS. That was yeah, all the parents are here. It's nice to be on the eve of Republic Day. So my heartful greetings on this occasion of 75th Republic Day of India. Great salute to our nation. Great things are happening in Delhi. We were watching what's happening in Delhi from morning. What a great spectacle. How many of you have seen Republic Day tableau parade today? Only two? What a wonderful show, right? The whole India was there. Probably first time we are watching such a marvelous parade, marvelous program. So it shows India is progressing. India is in the right path, getting most advanced activities on show, from defense, from space, where I was one of the part of space department. And also we had wonderful cultural show of the whole India. Every part of India was represented in the parade. And today, for all of you, is a great day because it's the 5th annual day of Reliance International School, Reliable International School and Blooming Era International School. Both are international. I think previous school have more job to do because we have a new education policy in place which says informal education. But it doesn't happen. In India, policies will not happen. India policies have to happen only when the takers demand it. So it's you the parents. You the parents have to demand. As per government policy, your school should run like this. Otherwise things will happen the same way. There is no change going to happen in the education policy. Generally, in traditional schooling at 5 years, when somebody becomes 5 years, they are joined into schools. Even today, grade 1 starts at 5 years, right? So it's time for Reliable International School and Bloomington School to Era School to go to grade 1. So far in LKG, UKG, nursery, from childhood, you are all actually playing and going around. Now the serious activity for Reliable International School and the Blooming Era School happens from grade 1 because they are completing 5 years in their service, right? It's nice to see kids on different activities. A wonderful speech in the beginning talking about different calendars. I don't know that young child who was speaking whether how much they know about that. But whatever is written, they will be able to reproduce. Any dance is given, they will be able to reproduce. They have a lot of energy and great memory. But probably that's not good enough to become really wonderful in life. It's not just memory and physical ability. You need to have an emotional balance. That doesn't happen these days. One of the biggest problem we have is the children are not emotionally balanced. What happens when lot of activities happening around where the development process goes much beyond what can be absorbed, people get into depression. So one of the biggest problem in India is either there are bright people, very quite little number, but 80 to 90% of the people are really below the real excellence line. Hard to get somebody for posting into higher positions. I don't know how many of you know that in India we have more than 6,000 civil service vacancies vacant. We have so many educated people. Why are we not filling it? Because we are not seeing the really wonderful people who can govern India. It's not politicians. It's all under the hands of the administrators. I was part of the cabinet secretariat, the topmost office in India. It's very hard to see somebody who is really dedicated, who understands things. The reason is our education system has gone too low. Just now we ended with the performance of the light, the sight, the knowledge. Rama represents light, Rama represents sight, and he were all governed by a great guru. Actually all the program starts with lighting of lamp. That time we were supposed to chant a mantra. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. The topmost Guru who gives light to all our hearts, and that is Brahma. Who is that Brahma? What is the purpose of Brahma? What is his responsibility? What is his ministry? Brahma is the god of creativity, the god of creation. the creation starts with the questions. Yesterday also I was talking to the Anganwadi teachers, nearly 200 of them in the city here, arranged by Masuda ji again. I was telling them, your responsibility is not giving answers, your responsibility is to make your children to ask questions. I can ask from looking at this program, chit, hundreds of questions. Hundreds of questions. I can keep asking, why you have a program which talks about the new year. Baishak. Yeah, so that gets into April 14. April 14 I am able to remember it because in my land in Kerala, we also celebrate on April 14th. Right? You can see one extreme end in India here and the other extreme end, it is on April 14th. But I stay in Hyderabad, there it is in March. And it is called Ugadi, Yuga Adi. Yuga Adi is again New Year. How many students, how many teachers, how many parents ask this question? Why is it different? You should ask this question. And you don't have to hunt for answers. Very easy to get answers. Because Google is there, right? And for most of the questions, probably what happens in the Bharatiya Shastra, my name is DrTPS. I stand for doctor, mathematician basically, turned into a space scientist. And now what I am doing is none of that. I am only addressing teachers, parents and students. So that's why I am TPS. So you can talk to DrTPS. I remember I was in one of the New Year program, Ugadi, which happened in Oman, 2018. How do I remember this? Because my subject is mathematics, I remember by numbers. So any of you take your telephone, go to YouTube, type 18, 03, 23, 24. Yeah, 24th I was there. That year it happened to be March 24th. So if you type in 18, 03, 24, DrTPS, you will get an explanation of why India have New Year in different language, different states, in different parts. That's because along the border, we follow one calendar, center of India, we follow another calendar. One is lunar and one is solar. And that number I picked up from the message which the boy was telling. So I'm telling each one of you should have this question. Look at every word, ask questions. Now we have Navaratri. Nava is 9. Right? But then again you are telling Dashami. Dasha means 10. Why Navami and Dashami is coming? Two festivals, Navami, Dashami. Which is the correct one? Is it Navami is correct or Dashami is correct? Whether Nava or Dasha, 9 days or 10 days, that's a question. Actually it is right because it is 9 nights and 10 days. Between 10 days, there will be 9 nights. So when you say, you have to tell it is Navaratri and Dashami. Not Navami and Dashami. There is a lot of difference between Navami and Dashami. That is the calendar number which is being counted. Okay? So look at it very carefully. I keep telling you have to transform the earlier knowledge of all of us, including Ramayana, which was presented here. When you present it in English medium, I think you should add some English to that. Right? So how do you add? I was wonderful to be in people who had lot of knowledge. So you look at Ramayana, English, DrTPS. You will see Ramayana in 4 lines in English. Right? There is a Ekasloki Ramayana which says Purvam Tapopanadigamanam, etc. etc. Etat hi Ramayanam. It says 4 lines. This is Ramayana. It's only 4 lines. But what I did was for the young children, I changed that into English. Not me, my teacher changed that into English, and we were together enjoying this in our camps which happens in Kerala. Rama, Lakshmana, Hanuman and Sugriv and Hanuman gathered a great army of monkeys. Then they went to the city of Lanka, wherein Sita suffered agony. What happened then? The Rama killed the cruel Ravana and went back to Ayodhya again. Edathi Ramayana. I think you should have that creativity of creating stories in our new style so that they learn both English, they learn translation, they learn different languages, they also learn mythology. So it has to be a mixed way of learning. Don't throw away what India had. India had great knowledge, India had great courage. We were discussing Bangla the other day. I was asking the young early childhood Anganwadi teachers. Bangla was a great nation. As a state, it was one of the greatest. Otherwise, Britishers will not land in this place. They would have landed somewhere else. Correct? And we had great sons of Bangla. Swami Vivekananda. We had Tagore. Great fellows. But today, if you look at the state of Bangla, it has gone down. Look at the production in the different states of India. Maharashtra stands first, Tamil Nadu stands second, etc. When you come to Bengal, it's only 8th or 9th. Asansol is a great place. You have a Chittaranjan here, you have got steel being made here, you have got coal being made here. But you look at the development which happens, it's too low. India is progressing? No, India is developing. It's a small difference between progress and development. But how India become the greatest nation? Only when the next generation, one generation is 20 years. The next generation, your KG children become a postgraduate. By that time, they are physically strong, very careful, 5-fold development. Physically strong, intellectually sharp, emotionally balanced, socially active, and spiritually higher. That means you as parents have gone, my kids have gone beyond that age. Each one of us have got a great responsibility of bringing them up. Mixing the new activity much faster. Many of those schools, boards, if you see, they will say 21st century education. Imagine what a blunder is that. Century is 100 years. So are you talking about an education which is meant for 100 years? It's so foolish. So I wrote a book very recently which is called the third decade of 21st century. So my world of today for the young generation is 3-2-1 world, in which the most modern, fast moving AI, augmented reality, all the computer development, everything should happen. But stand in the strong root of Indian knowledge. Therefore I call all these teachers are grandmothers of education system. The KG teachers are not mothers, they are grandmothers. All the parents who come to them have to behave with them like they are their children and their grandchildren are coming to them. Age doesn't matter. It may be a young 22-year-old teacher in the LKG, UKG, but they are the grandmothers. You can look at how much patience they should have, and they should all work with a lot of devotion without expecting nothing much back from them. And that will happen only when the early childhood teachers behave like a grandmother, and the children who are coming, bringing the parents, they become their children. All parents are children of the teachers here. If you accept that and behave, I am sure they can give a bigger knowledge, a higher knowledge, they can bring them into spirituality. So physical, emotional, intellectual, social, spiritual development should happen so that India becomes great. I can go on and on, but I know that this is not the time for all that because you have got array of programs, lot of festivals, lot of activities in the list. I wish all of you all the best. I wish the Reliable International School, Blooming Era, Pre-School, all the very best in the years to come. Today we have how many children? More than 250, 200 in hundreds. We wish that in 10 years to come we will have thousands, right? And then probably you will have your own great building and big compound in which you will have lot of activities around. Develop it. The school doesn't belong to the teachers, it doesn't belong to the owners. I'm sure every child will say, this is my school. That saying my means you are feeling an ownership. It's your school. Every parent will say it's my child's school. That means it's your school. So all of you should feel the ownership and support as best as you can. And I wish, Masuda, is it good enough? Thank you. Thank you for this. God bless you. Inshallah, we'll see you sometime somewhere. Pray.
What an insightful session it was. I hope we parents and teachers will follow your guidelines at every step. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, everybody. Nothing to tell more about, but it's all that we have gathered today to celebrate the 5th annual day of Reliable International School and Blooming Era. With the heartiest welcome of Dr. Masuda Yasmin, I have been with this school from the steps forward that they have grown up. I want to pay my gratitude towards DrTPS sir, to the guardians present and to the lovely children.
To the house, not the creator was staring. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care. Blooming Era and Reliable International School. It is the larger and the dreams. It is the prisoners and the right. It is the creation of life. It is the festival of life. And so, theme our 5th annual day.
guest and guest of honors. I have all my teachers, staff, everyone and students, and not to forget the parents. Without the support of the
शिंगाई दिला आधी शिंगाशुनी मोरते ते बाजिया उठलो ढाल
के झोंके आज मौसमों से टूट गए, फूलों की शुक्रियाँ जो घर में आके टूट गए।